Tonight, the Blues won't be feeling the sun's warmth this weekend.
And sadly, the same thing could be said for the people in Central America.
Also, President Donald Trump stirs up more controversy over birth control. Murrow News 8 starts right now.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is Pullman's only nightly newscast. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening. I'm Brittany McIntosh.
And I'm Shannon Hecht. Welcome to Murrow News 8. The National Weather Service is issuing a hazardous weather outlook for the Palouse and surrounding areas. Strong winds with gusts reaching up to 40 miles per hour are expected tonight. A cold front is what's bringing the windy conditions. Thankfully, there's no home game this weekend to be dampened by the weather, but we will tell you when the warning is going to end later in the newscast.
Two Washington State University football players are being kicked off the team for trying to steal $225 worth of merchandise from Walmart. Zaire White and Anthony White Jr. attempted to go through a Walmart checkout without paying for items. The former players were charged with third-degree theft. The incident is still under review by local officials, who will send a charging recommendation to the Whitman County Prosecutor's Office. While those players are dealing with charges, the thefts of the fans are cheering on them dealing with that. The arson. Derek Baker goes into deeper emergencies about the dangerous post of the game's tradition.
In the last month, there have been around 30 couch fires in the streets of Pullman in response to the recent success of the Washington State football team. After the WSU's 30-27 upset win over USC, there were 15 different reports of couch fires in a span of an hour and a half.
If we have multiple fires going on, we still only have so many firefighters that are cross-trained as paramedics and EMTs, so they are also running other calls.
While we don't know where this new trend came from, it's starting to make residents and firefighters of Pullman nervous.
The fire getting out of control and then starting bushes on fire that could lead to vehicles catching on fire, or even, heaven forbid, even houses catching on fire.
On top of the damage a couch fire can cause to the environment and citizens, it is also against the law.
Well, depending on the circumstances, they could be looking at disorderly conduct, which would be what we're seeing as couches laying in the middle of the street, blocking traffic and set on fire. That could be disorderly conduct.
Washington State will play their next 5 out of 7 games on the road, including the Apple Cup, which will be held in Seattle. However, the Cougs will play 2 final home games here at Martin Stadium against Colorado and Stanford.
The Cougs will travel to Eugene this weekend to face off against the Oregon Ducks, giving the city a break from the excitement. Derek Baker, Murrow News 8.
The Washington State Cougars women's soccer team defeated the Oregon Ducks in Eugene last night. The Cougars scored 2 goals in the first half and took 2-0 lead in the break. The Ducks were unable to respond, and the Cougars ended up winning the match, improving their record to 7 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws.
The Pullman School District is breaking ground on the community's newest elementary school. A $24 million bond was approved by Pullman residents last year. The construction of Kamiak Elementary School is the second elementary school on Military Hill in Pullman. The construction of the school is expected to be done in the spring of 2019. When we come back, Central America is being ravaged by Tropical Storm Nate.
And Mike Pence proposes humans to take a trip back to the moon.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face! In your face!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft. To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course! Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Tropical Storm Nate has killed 20 people in Nicaragua, Honduras, and Costa Rica. The U.S. National Hurricane Center says the Category 1 storm will hit Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama late Saturday or early Sunday. Nate's path has been shifted and is now putting New Orleans and its compromised draining system in the storm's path. National Guard troops have been placed in New Orleans to monitor the drainage systems. In an attempt to stop the Catalan president from delivering an expected Declaration of Independence, the highest Spanish court suspended a meeting with Catalonia's regional parliament. This parliamentary session could be the Catalan president's first opportunity to formally declare independence under a Catalan referendum law. However, the Spanish Constitutional Court previously declared the vote illegal. Which sent Spain into political crisis. Despite the vote being ruled illegal, the referendum for Catalonia's independence still went ahead. After an attempt from police to stop the voting, over 2 million people still voted, and 90% of the votes were in favor of independence of Catalonia. 2 women in Malaysia are being charged with killing of the half-brother of North Korea's dictator Kim Jong-un. The women allegedly smeared Kim Jong-nam's face with a banned chemical poison in February inside the main international airport of Malaysia. A pathologist testified in court that Kim Jong-nam suffered substantial organ damage. Both women have pleaded not guilty, but if convicted, the women face death by hanging.
The White House, even the National Rifle Association, better known as the NRA, are working quickly to increase the restrictions around purchasing bump stocks. The accessory retailing at $200 will now require people to jump through a few more hoops. The bump stock is meant to help physically disabled people fire their weapons more effectively. Many representatives, including House Speaker Paul Ryan, say they never knew the accessory until the Las Vegas shooting. President Trump is allowing more employers to opt out of providing no-cost birth control to women, claiming the religious or moral objectives. Trump is doing this by issuing new rules that take another step in rolling back to the Obama health care. The new policy is a revision of federal rules that require most companies to cover birth control as preventive care for women that have no cost. NASA is in the process of preparing to send a man to the moon for the first time in over 30 years. Yesterday, during a public address, Vice President Mike Pence made a pledge for Americans to set foot on the moon in 2022. He has hopes this would open opportunity to soon land a man on Mars.
Space is vital to our national security. I saw firsthand when I visited Schriever Air Force Base and the Redstone Arsenal earlier this year. And as I said, our adversaries are aggressively developing jamming, hacking, and other technologies intended to cripple military surveillance, navigation, communication systems.
As Pence spoke out about the American advancement in space, he also mentioned the idea of involving weaponry in case of enemy attacks on U.S. Seattle's.
When we come back, the iPhone update may not be in everyone's favor.
And we'll let you know the weather warning ends.
The great outside.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
So shiny.
We both love the outdoors.
That's not a flower.
And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
I wouldn't use this one.
He helps me with my decision making.
Never.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Practice makes perfect. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Winds are headed to the Palouse tonight and into tomorrow, causing our weather warning.
Nick Bartlett is giving you here more extended forecasts. Nick, how long will this storm last for?
Well, Shannon, Brittany, it's looking like the winds are rolling as you said, but everyone hopefully has a good weekend, and we'll take a look at your weather forecast for today. So as we start, today's high is going to be 67 degrees, a little bit warm, but with the breeze coming through, it should feel a little bit cooler. As we get to the nighttime, it's going to get around 40 degrees. You're going to need a little bit more of a warm jacket, just a little bit cooler than it has been previously. And as we switch over to tomorrow's weather, it's actually going to be rainy for the first time in a little bit. So again, grab your jackets, grab your long pants, grab whatever you're going to need to feel comfortable in this weather. As we switch into the nighttime, it's going to be rainy, it's going to be cold, it's not going to be too enjoyable. And as we take a look at the state map here, Pullman is actually 68 degrees today. The warmest spot on the east side of the state is actually going to be Yakima at 74 degrees. It's as well going to be around 40 to 50 degrees everywhere during the nighttime. And as we switch over to the west side of the state, Seattle and Olympia are around 60 to 65 degrees, and Vancouver is a little bit cooler at 56. And again, the night temperatures are roughly around 45 to 50 degrees. And as we take a look at your 5-day forecast, it's going to be, again, 57 degrees today, it's going to be 57 degrees on Sunday, 59 degrees on Monday, and it's going to stay around that temperature this whole week. Going to be moderately warm, but not too cold. I'd say light jacket, not full jacket weather. And yeah, just stay warm out there, and back to you, Shannon and Brittany at the desk.
The iPhone has yet another update and people are not happy.
And the cost of binge watching your favorite shows may be increasing. We'll be right back.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it. Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
The great outside.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
So shiny.
We both love the outdoors.
That's not a flower.
And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play or even what you wear. You just need to be there. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
This week, your iPhone might undergo a little change with the iOS 11 facelift, and some folks aren't too happy about it. People are upset with the update and its poor performance and the way it impacts battery life. Apple said they will look at some of these bugs and try to fix some of the issues people are experiencing with their devices.
College students might be saying goodbye to Netflix and hello to textbooks after the company recently raised their prices for subscriptions. As of it was $9.99 a month standard price already isn't breaking the bank, Netflix raised their prices $1 or $2 depending on which plan subscribers have. Currently, subscribers won't see the price change until their next bill, but new subscribers will see the price raise immediately.
Thank you for watching. Join us every night at 7 and 10 p.m. for Pullman's only nightly newscast.
Have a great night, and don't forget to follow Murrow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter. Good night, Pullman.